Okay, now, CBC is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. One of our favorite local celebrities will be appearing on the one-hour special program. He is a man that has introduced us all to such scientific phenomenon as the flurries and scattered showers. I am talking, of course, of Karl Wells. Now, Karl appears on CBC News Countrywide on Rogers Digital Channel 166, and he also, as you know, appears nightly on CBC Canada Now. But earlier today, he was in the studio to talk to Krysta about being a CBC weatherman and just about being Karl. Here it is.
Karl, thanks so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me, Krysta.
I appreciate you being on the rooftop.
Well, it's nice to be on the rooftop.
Now, we've got lots of things to talk to you about today. Of course, CBC is celebrating a great big anniversary, but I'm excited to have you here because I just want to talk about Karl.
Oh, okay.
Because you've got a career that spans 27 years in the business.
Yeah.
And I want to backtrack all the way back because you actually have an English degree and an education degree.
Yes.
So did you start out wanting to be a teacher?
Well, I started out doing a degree because I wanted to have the degree so that it would be easier for me to get employment, to be frank about it. I was interested in working for CBC, and at that time they said, you know, if you want to work for the CBC, you have to have a university degree. So that's what got me at MUN in the first place. Well, while I was there, I got a job working, well, I worked at MUN Radio and I worked at ETV, which was the University Television Station.
That's right, yeah.
And I absolutely loved it. I was having the time of my life. And I decided, well, I don't really want to leave university right away. So I thought, well, I'll stay a little bit longer and get the education degree. And at least if this broadcasting thing doesn't work out, if I don't get a job in broadcasting, I'll have something to fall back on. Not a really good reason to go into teaching, but I think I probably would have made a good teacher. But and I like the idea of teaching. So.
Well, you never had to fall back on it because, of course.
No, I didn't.
So you were working at CBC in the summer times.
Yeah.
And you just loved it?
Absolutely loved it, yeah. I remember the first time I walked into the CBC television building. It was like being in Hollywood. I was just like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
Because at that time, there were hundreds of people in that building. And we were producing about 15 hours of local programming every week in every category. We were doing news, current affairs, variety, drama, whatever you can think of, we were doing. Yeah. And there were people running around with costumes on, people carrying sets, and you know, they had costume designers, and it was so exciting. It was like, as I say, for me, it was like being in Hollywood. And I said, I want to work here. This is great, right?
And you did.
Yeah.
Very successfully. Yeah. I guess it took lots of twists and turns along the road, but you're probably most well known for being the weather guy. And that started when?
1978.
Wow.
I started filling in for Patricia White, who was doing the weather, and shortly after I started filling in for her, she left to go to Toronto, and I got the gig full time.
Did you love doing the weather?
Yeah, I did. Absolutely. Well, up until then, you know, most staff announcers, especially back in those days, most of what you did was scripted. Sure. Unless you hosted a show in radio where you were, you know, like On the Go or the morning show where you did interviews. Most everything you did was scripted, and a lot of it was news reading. I liked the weather because it was all ad lib. Yeah. And I wanted to do that.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, I guess one of your great characteristics, the reason that you've become such a celebrity, is your personality. Because people have just loved that over the years, seeing you, you know, in different places, and you just didn't stand there and read the weather. You were an actual person in their living rooms. Do you love that aspect of the job, getting to know people?
Oh, I do, yeah. It's been a great education. I mean, there's no other job where, you know, you could meet the kind of people I've had an opportunity to meet, or go places where I've had an opportunity to go. I did the weather, for example, from the Hibernia platform, first television broadcast ever done from Hibernia, you know, 300 and something kilometers out in the middle of the Atlantic. How many jobs are there where you get to do things like that?
Exactly. You know? Well, it's a great place, lots of happy memories for you.
Oh, yeah.
Now, speaking of happy memories, of course, there's a big celebration coming up. And one of the aspects, the way we're going to celebrate at CBC, is to have a special called Wonderful Grand Television. Tell me about that.
Well, Wonderful Grand Television airs 7:30 October 3rd. It's hosted by Newfoundland's own Rex Murphy, who used to be one of the original story editors on Here and Now when it went to air back in the early 70s. It's an hour looking back. There's going to be lots of clips from old shows from the 60s when the station first went on the air here, right up through until the present. You'll see former producers interviewed about some of the funny things that went on behind the scenes. Former hosts will be interviewed.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great show. It's an hour long.
Well, we all have lots of great memories, you know, from Wonderful Grand Band to Skipper to
There will be something that will twig a memory for everybody in this show, I guarantee it.
Well, okay, so as a special sneak peek, we do have a tiny little clip of Wonderful Grand Television. Here's a look.
Tree shot on the side.
The old plum is drunk.
Patient care will suffer.
And the burn before eternity.
Tonight, we intend the next hour to be a bit of a celebration and a reminiscence.
Trans-Canada Highway, completed a few months ago, is ready to be officially opened.
I think it's going to be great.
I can't believe I was ever that young. Yeah, so that gives you a bit of the flavor of the show. It's going to be a great show.
Now, Karl, I have to tell you, you're a handsome man still today, but you were awfully cute back then, too.
Oh, thank you.
Now, we do have a picture of you.
Well, yeah,
a few
actually,
years ago.
This is a picture.
Let's hold that up.
This is a picture of the trio here, back in 1979. There's yours truly, Glenn Tilley, and Carl Lake, who did sports back in those days.
Look at those gorgeous faces.
We thought we had the world by the tail, I'll tell you. Speaking of Glenn, you know, Glenn was incredible. I admire him for this. He was almost impossible to break up. I remember one night.
I believe that.
Yeah, one night, this was back in the 70s now, I had to, in order to get out of the studio, I had to make a really quick exit after the weather. And I had to walk in front of his camera, otherwise I'd be caught on camera, and they would run a little sting, a little animated thing, to give me, you know, enough time to get out. But the thing is, I had to unhook my microphone before I made this dash. One night I forgot to unhook the mic, and I got about
it's like having a harness.
halfway across the studio, and I couldn't move. And I'm like looking at the camera, and I'm thinking, my God, what am I going to do? So the only thing I could think to do was throw myself on the floor.
Duck.
So I literally threw myself on the floor. The only thing was, I pulled the microphone cable out of the wall, I pulled part of the set out of the wall, and here I was in a heap in front of Glenn Tilley, who went back on the air like that and didn't
Never broke.
flinch.
And you're at his feet.
I'm at his feet in a hump, this fool on the floor, and not a flicker of reaction out of him. He was amazing that way.
Yeah.
Really difficult to break up. Do I have time for another picture?
Just show us this other picture, because you've got a great story to tell here, too.
This is a picture of me doing the Santa Claus Parade broadcast with Gloria Fyander and her puppet, Rusty. This would be in the mid-90s, I guess.
Sure.
I love the Santa Claus Parade, and I always wanted to host the broadcast, and I got to do it. And they said to me, the producer said to me, now you're going to have a co-host. I said, oh, okay, who's that? Gloria Fyander. I said, fine. And she's going to have her puppet with her. And I said, puppet? Okay, fine, puppet's fine. So we did the show, and I hope Gloria doesn't get mad at me, but we're doing the broadcast, and all of it. And I've never thought irrationally on the air before, but this broadcast made me become irrational, because I thought I was going on and having a co-host. Well, it turned out there were three of us doing the show. There was Gloria, there was Rusty, and there was Karl. The only problem was Rusty never shut up. Rusty was like this through the whole show. And like, this was my big moment, you know? This was my Santa Claus parade.
Everyone was watching you.
And this puppet, this Rusty, was taking over the show from me.
It's just not fair.
And it wasn't fair. And I you know, the thing that made it funny was that I started thinking as if Rusty was an entity unto herself, that Rusty wasn't connected with
Gloria.
with Gloria at all. And I was thinking, poor Gloria, she can't get a word in, I can't get a word in. This puppet is taking over my show. Well,
Someone do something about Rusty.
By the time we got to the end of the show, I wanted to strangle the puppet. Anyway, it was really funny. We had a great laugh about it afterward.
Yeah, well, you've had lots of great laughs.
Yeah.
Now, people can come and meet you guys at an open
Yes,
house.
we're having an
next
open
week
house. Yeah.
And hear all these great
Yeah,
stories.
October the 5th, 2 to 5. And Bob Cole is going to be there from Hockey Night in Canada, who was one of our initial first announcers in television, one of the first hosts of the Suppertime News, of course. We're going to have Franklin the Turtle there.
Oh, good. Very
Big
important.
celebrity for the kiddies.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a bit of a television museum set up and lots of old pictures from the old days.
So that's next Saturday at
that's-
CBC Television.
That's right.
Okay.
Lots of door prizes and things like that. It's going to be a great time.
It will be
Yeah,
for sure.
I hope everybody can come.
Carl, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome, Krysta.
And have a great
It's
celebration.
really nice seeing you again.
It's nice seeing you too.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
We're going to be right back in just a few seconds.